This is stunning. I can't imagine someone doing this.
Harriet, a brat.
Yeah, a brat.
Alan?
It's like has like like graphic. It reminds me of graphic, and then you're look there it is shifting gears.
Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to this 13th annual Florida Artist Book Prize award ceremony and opening exhibition. It's hard to believe that this is the 13th year of the prize. Ellen, her book won this year. It's on the table. I think most of you have seen it. It's Wild Girls Redo, an operator's manual. It's an edition of 100 and it's beautifully done. The judges were suitably impressed, and we're so happy that she's a recent Florida resident. She moved here a couple of years ago from Mississippi with her husband and son, and so we're very glad to have her as a Florida resident. So Ellen, I'd like to present you the $2,000 prize, although it's a blank envelope. The check isn't ready, it's in the mail. I thought I'd tell the truth, Ellen. Congratulations. And Ellen will speak a little bit about her book and the creative process. Ellen?
To start, I just want to show you where this book originated. This is the original Wild Girls. This is the first letterpress book that I ever did. It was done in 1997 when I knew nothing about locking up a form in the bed of a press or anything, and so it was really exciting to me. That's how I fell in love with letterpress in Chicago, and this is where this book started. So it was really inspired by images of Betty Page. And it's done sort of in the form of a school book or, rules. That's really what it's based around. Both of these books are rules about behavior and appearance in women. And how, I feel personally that I'm drawn to those rules. Like, I want to do what I'm supposed to do, but I also hate them. And they change all the time. And so that's really what both of these books are about. But I thought you should see the first one to kind of get a sense of where it came from. This one's much more, subtle, I guess, than the one that I'm going to talk about in a minute. But it's only, a limited palette of color. The typography is always, in all of my work, is very important because I really come from a graphic design background. So that's always number one on my list. The type needs to be good. I only did 12 books because I didn't know you could do 50 books or 100 books. And I bought enough paper and I counted. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do 12, So I don't have maybe 2 of them left. So I thought, how can I get rules? And I started researching on the internet and things, and I came across the Missouri Motorcycle Road Rules Manual. And as I started to read them, I realized, let's see if I can get to, okay, a lot of the rules sort of applied to women. I don't know. I mean, I'm not even sure that's true, but I could see how it could. And so I started thinking about, I edited them. I didn't use them exactly like they were listed, but as I read the text, I sort of, wrote the book that way. And then if you look, you see this, the handwriting. It's not handwriting, it's actually French cursive. It's a typeface. And the way I used it, though, I almost used it as though I was writing my own notes to this text. So when, it says body position, and then it lists posture, seat position, hands and knees, feet, you can imagine that when you're sitting on that's what it's talking about. But then I wrote manner, like your posture is your manner, and it should be the best. The seat position should be best. Hands and knees, upper and lower parts of your body, and then feet should be exposed. I mean, this is all subconscious. When I design, I'm not thinking literally about what this book means. It's really hard to come up here and talk about it. I don't want to do that because I kind of feel like I heard this quote or read this quote by Claire Van Vliet, who's a book artist, and she says, if I have to explain it, I failed. And I actually think there's a lot of truth in that. It sort of sounds like when I say that, I'm like, oh, it's kind of a cop-out, you should be able to talk about your work. But at the same time, I feel like the work should be attractive and understandable to the viewer immediately, quickly. Within a couple of minutes, you sort of get the gist of the piece, whatever it is. So I wanted to show you like some of the materials, because when I'm thinking about a book, when I'm pulling my materials together before I make it, I actually try to think how these materials relate to the content. It's just, to me, they're so intimately related. You can't just pick any old paper and do it. So I was thinking about the ordinary way that we think about the fact that you could apply motorcycle rules to women. That's not a good thing that I could do that. And that doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel bad that I could do that. But it's very ordinary. It's a very ordinary thought. And so I started thinking about materials that are ordinary and office supplies and things like that. So that green paper is an accounting book. There are paper doilies in the book. Like the envelope that the book comes in is an office, just a mailing envelope. And so I was trying to use these materials as a commentary, I guess. But like I said, it's not like I'm making a list of all these things that I'm meaning by that. But that's the subconscious. It's almost like I think of it after. I'm like, that makes sense to what I'm trying to express. And then, of course, the choice of typeface. I wanted it to be, I chose typefaces that were industrial, like that Cooper Black is what that bold typeface is a very industrial and ordinary. And some people think it's ugly, typeface. And then the handwriting, I wanted it to look very school book, going back to that original book.
This is exactly the place, yes. The climate's much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, the climate is